George, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, good.
Well, I'd like to start in the beginning. Is it true that you got into music because of your sister?
Not so much just my sister, but yeah, I do have it, but I think it was more just the music that was going on in the house. There was, my dad, my sister was older and into, the cool bands at the time and whatever. And there was just always music in every room. And it's hard to escape that, do you know what I mean? If it's there, it's there. So yeah, maybe partly my sister.
Well, around the house then, what type of music, can you give me some examples?
Well, it was nice because my dad listened to a lot of male singer-songwriters. So he listened to a lot of Tom Waits and Van Morrison, Paul Simon, Bob Dylan. And then my sister was listening to, the Arctic Monkeys, Cribs, Vampire Weekend, and, so that was nice. It was like a nice marriage of the two. But then also, I went and, when I got into what my dad was listening to, that was the first time that music wasn't just on the radio. It wasn't just in the background, it was something I'd found and enjoyed. And then I went and found out who those people had been listening to and went further back and, loved it.
You end up with Robert Johnson.
Yeah, Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf and all of these guys, Woody Guthrie, and love it. Yeah.
And these are musicians that I think I should say aren't really listened to by your peers.
Yeah.
So was it difficult to listen to it, or was it just something you did at home?
No, because I loved it. It wasn't difficult. I loved it. I think, my friends didn't. I don't think it's that they didn't get it. They weren't that interested, which is fine. So yeah, maybe. I mean, what was really nice is one of my dad's friends actually. He used to have an amazing record collection, and he was putting it all onto CDs. And he used to make me compilations of old stuff, quite obscure stuff. It was nice, that helped as well.
And now I saw on your Facebook you do kind of a similar thing. I wrote it down with Ezra Sunday service.
Yeah.
So is that something where you also try to
pass stuff on?
Yeah, things that people perhaps wouldn't listen to.
Yeah, maybe. I think what I love about the Sunday service is it's like. It's just music that to me is what I like to listen to. Everyone has their stuff and it's nice to share it with people. And I quite like it, getting feedback off people saying, thank you, it's been really good. And but when someone asks you to list something and your head goes blank, every week it's like, you need to upload 4 new songs, 5 new songs, and my head just goes like, what am I meant to do? So, yeah. It's interesting as well, now that we're on tour, and my sister actually comes on tour with us. And then I've got a tour manager and my sound engineer. It's called Action Man. He does all the action. But I find myself listening to a lot of stuff I used to listen to, not new, because it's comforting. It reminds me of home and it reminds me of, memories and stuff.
Is that something you need now that things have kind of taken off and you're on the road a lot?
Yeah, I think it's... no matter how, I think I'm built to travel. I think I'm built to move around a lot. It suits me fine. I love it.
Can you explain why?
No, I just love it. I think the thing that, no matter who you are though, you're going to miss home a bit. You're going to miss, and not so much just home, but, I moved to Bristol about 4 years ago, so it's just missing what's going on, But that's why it's important, I bring my sister on tour with me so that there's someone there that's, that you love and that is great. It's good.
Well, you grew up in Hartford?
Yeah, Hartford, yeah.
And then, as you say, you moved to Bristol. Were you playing your own music in Hartford already, or did it come?
Yeah, I was in bands in Hartford. Okay. And I was playing around a bit, with writing songs for myself. And then when I got to Bristol, I realised, unless I get busy, unless I start doing this, nothing's going to happen. And so, then I started to gig a lot and open mics and, open stages and that sort of thing.
What were those initial gigs like?
Hilarious. Open mics, I love them. You couldn't write it. That some of the people you get at open mic nights are just genius. They're hilarious. No, I used to love it. And, it's... they're the hardest gigs you'll ever play because people are just there to drink. So you're sat in the corner. If you can win over a few people, then happy days.
So it's a good learning process.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely. I'd still like, if I had enough time off in Bristol, I'd still go to a few. Like, I just love them.
Okay.
Yeah.
When talking about first songs, when did you start writing your own material?
So when I was 13 years old, I used to play bass guitar. And I remember I tried to write a few songs then, and luckily there's no recordings of those songs. So, you know, I think that curiosity thing, I started to play around with it then. But not until I was about 15, 16. That's when I really started to write for myself and venting and, you know, just getting stuff done.
Why do you say venting? Well, what kind of stuff?
Well, I think it's even now, I write a lot about what I'm seeing, people that I meet, and that sort of thing. And I can write a story that I think is completely fictional, but then when I start singing it, it's like, that's about me. You know, that bit there is quite personal actually to me. And you don't. That's the nice thing I like about how I write anyway. I don't write because I need to get something off my chest or anything. I just write, keep on writing, and then I'm like, that's what I was trying to say to myself.
So there's no intent beforehand, so the autobiographical element, say, a specific person in mind or something?
No, not often. Like, so what, when it comes to writing a song, there will be more so, but I write, like, I keep journals almost, like just what I'm seeing, you know, who I'm meeting, what I'm doing, the things, and then it will go into sort of fiction for a bit, and then it will just nonsense, and then it's nice when you read back over it, it's like, that's a cool word, or that's a cool sentence, or yeah.
Well, for instance, a song like Casio, is that a specific person, or?
No, so what happened was with Cassia, I remember writing the verses, because I was travelling around Europe, interrailing by myself, and I remember having the thought, you know, this trip's going to run out, you know, the time's going to run out, that's not in my power, I can't control time. And I laughed at myself because it's such a cliche thought. I was like, as if you're that guy now, you're having that. So then I wrote the verses about sort of taking the mick out of that, having a laugh about that. And then it kind of lends itself to the idea of a relationship as well, because I think you do especially when you're younger as well, you start to do different things and you can feel like you're running out of time. So no, not a specific person.
But as you say, then when you write songs, a meaning will come up later. So can you give me an example of that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, like, Did You Hear the Rain, for instance, one of my songs, was a song that came really easily, actually. It was just, you know, I just wrote these verses, and then I realised, and I had no idea what it was I was writing, and then I realised that it's about alter egos, so, you know, you have characters inside yourself and things like that. And I think everyone does, whether it's after a few drinks or after, like, whatever, you know, you have a character that comes out. And I'd never thought about that before, and then I was playing the song live once, and I was like, yeah, that's what this is about. It's about that little dude inside your head.
Okay. Is there then a big difference between George now and George on stage?
No. I think there is a difference because you're performing and you're aware that, you know, but not really. I like to try and, especially now, I gig on my own still, and I think it's nice just to make sure everyone relaxes as soon as we start the gig. It's like, I don't want the audience to be like, you know, here's this guy. It's like, nah, chill out. I'm going to play some songs. You're going to listen. Hopefully you enjoy it. You know, let's just enjoy it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, about these smaller gigs, one of how many gigs did you have under your belt when you did the Glastonbury one?
I have no idea. Not many. It was really new to me. Well, I'd never played a festival before, and I'd never been to Glastonbury before, so I was a bit like, whoa, this place is huge, you know. Did you see they announced the lineup today, or some of?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it got posted today, which is really cool. I think Jack White's playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, this is a conversation for us to you. Yeah, it was nerve-wracking, but it was really nice. My gig was on the Sunday, and everyone was quite tired by then, you know, and so everyone was just really relaxed.
What does this kind of gig do to you when you're starting out still and you have thousands of people in front of you?
Shakes you up. Like, I think nerves are good. You need nerves before you get on stage, because those nerves are what gets you on the stage to do it. Otherwise, if it was if you didn't feel excited, you'd be like, well, why am I going to do it? But I've never been. Well, I'm not often, really scared of it. I was when I first started, but the more you do it now, I actually, it's something I love. I feel quite relaxed on stage.